Okay, let's start with the unit design of tension members. Your unit 2 is design of tension members. I know that first unit is the introduction part. It has a basic about the steel structures based on welding, bolted connection, welded connection, riveted connection. I think riveted connection is not in your syllabus. Maybe in bolted connection, a lap joint and butt joint. These things, if you studied or if you are going to study, the design problems will come. In first unit, it will conclude strength of the bolts, strength of the weld. You have to calculate the strength of the bolts in a structure, strength of the weld in a structure, and what kind of bolts they are using. These are you are going to study in first units. This second unit is based on the members. It not between the bolt, steel, whatever it is. It is a totally considered. It is a member, tension members. Okay, tension members is the nothing but beam like that. Compression member is nothing but a column like that. Okay, what are the tension members? Main 3 points have to consider before designing a tension members. What are the 3 points? A linear member which carries an axial pull. If any member which carries an axial pull, that is called as a tension member. Okay, and it do not buckle even stress beyond the elastic limit. Whenever you are pulling the structure, it won't buckle because you are pulling the structure. Okay, only buckle takes place on compression. Okay, if you're stressed beyond the elastic limit also, it won't buckle. Okay, third point, it does not affected by the types of sections. Actually, sections may be splitted into different types based on the elasticity index. It's like elasticity index, elasticity, plasticity index. What are the types means plastic, compact, and semi-compact. These sections were applicable for cold form steel sections. So here we are not going to, because in cold form steel structure, cold form is nothing but the thickness is less than, the thickness of the material is less than 2 mm, 3 mm. The thickness of the metal is, the thickness of the steel is less than a 3 mm. That is called as a cold form steel structure. But please note down it. If anybody is having note with you, please note down it. Simply don't listen the PPT. Because lot of matters other than the PPT I can tell. That's why I am saying the thickness less than 3 mm, that is called as a cold form steel structure. Here we are going to discuss about the thickness of the metal is more than a 3 mm. Okay, sir. 10 o'clock other class will come.
Yes, sir.
Okay, who is the second hour? Don't know.
అజయ్ చూసావు కదరా పి నాకు టైం టేబుల్ చెప్పు.
సమంత
Shoshankar sir.
Okay.
At 10:10 sir will come.
Okay, fine. Up to you will come, I will take the class. Okay. Okay, once again I will repeat the points. A linear member which carries an axial pull and it do not buckle even stressed beyond the elastic limit, and it does not affected by the types of section, plastic, compact, semi-compact. This plastic, compact, semi-compact will be applicable for the cold form steel structure, not for my ordinary form rolled form steel structure. Okay, these are the main points considered before designing the tension members. This is the tension member we are pulling in axially. Okay, this is the cracked steel section. This is the, it's not cracked, it is the linear section. It doesn't have any deformation and anything. What are the examples of tension member? Okay, told about the tension member. Okay, let's see what are the examples. Which are the structures which carries an extension member? Common roof stress. Okay, this roof stress, you have seen all the structures, some asbestos roof sheets. Maybe in our structure lab, it is designed by this. Here, this bottom chord, this is act as a tension member. In common roof stress, this bottom chord is act as a tension member. These are all top chord. This is the bearing point. This is the king post. These are gussets. Gussets is used to connect two members. Usually gussets plates are used to connect the two members. This bottom chord is act as a tension member. Okay. Next one, the steel bridge. The complete steel bridge is act as a tension member. And then wind bracing. This is the 3-story, 4-story building. In that building, in a ground story or in foundation, above the foundation, they kept the wind bracing. This bracing to avoid the wind velocity of the tall builded structures. Okay, these wind bracings are act as a tension members. These wind bracing are act as a tension members. And next, transmission lines, not a transmission tower, transmission lines. These lines were act as a tension member. What are the standard shapes used for the tension member? Angle section, T section, channel section. This is a box section, I section, and tubular section. These are the two tubular section. These are the plates and rods. Okay, based on the types of tension members, what are the things is available? Wires and cables. Wires and cables where we used in cable stayed bridge and in transmission lines. In transmission lines, in cable stayed bridges, they will use wires and cable. These types of tension members are used for derrick, hoist, hangers, in suspension bridges, and the rigging slings and gay wires. Gay wires were used in towers, cooling towers. They were tied with some ground portion, some rigid portion. Those things, the gay wires will be used. These hangers, hoists, derricks were parts of the suspension bridges. And the rigging slings. Slings means nothing but it also used to tie the member. The slings also used to tie the member. Next, bars and rods. These things are the bars and rods. The round and square bars are frequently used for the small tension bars. The round bars have thread and ends are used along with the pin connection. The rods or bars are connected with the end connection. The end connection is called as a I-boss. This end connection is called as a I-boss. In circular rods, it connected with like this. In square bars, it connected with like this. Okay, this rods and bars having some disadvantages. What are the disadvantages? Means it has an inadequate stiffness. It don't have a much stiffness property. So what will happen? It will, once you tied the material with the rods and bars, by day, the prolonged time, it get loosened. It get loosened means the stiffness, it won't have a adequate stiffness, which result in accumulation of noticeable sag under its own weight. Then it gets sag. Okay, that is the main disadvantages of the bars and rods. The bars and rods are used for connecting the bridges and cable stayed bridges and towers, tower lines and transmission lines. By day, it's get loosened. So it don't have a inadequate stiffness. This is a rope and this is a strand. This rope, cross section of rope, you can see the strands, it's having a number of thin lines of steel metals, and this is the wire cable is connected with the eyepiece. Eyepiece or I-boss. Okay, this is the little rod, this is the simple rod, this is a bar. This rod is connected with the threaded portion. to connect it with the bolts and nuts to the cable stayed bridge. And then single structural plates and shapes. Previously we discussed about wires and cables, bars and rods, and then structural plates and shapes. Okay, the single structural plates and shape means nothing but the single and double angles. This I section and T section, these are the single structural plates. These are used as a tension member. The angle sections are more rigid than the wires. These angle sections were more rigid than the wire. It won't goes for sag until the time prolongs. Cables and wires and rods and bars which are less rigid than the angle section. Compared to single structural plates, I sections are used as a tension member. They have more rigidity than the single structural plates. They are also I sections are more economical than built-up sections. Built-up section is nothing but it contains two or more tension members. Two or more means it's both channel section or both the combination of I section, a combination of L section, angle section, a combination of T section. It has a more combination of section. That section is called as a built-up sections. When the single structural T section cannot furnish the required area, built-up sections are used. Finally, what problems we are going to do in our further classes based on the single angle members and double angle members. Okay, the single angle members is connected with the gusset plate. In between the gusset plate, this is the single angle member. This is a double angle member having gusset plate at the middle. Okay, either it was connected with a double angles. Okay, the double angle section having unequal legs. Sometimes it will have equal legs and also having unequal legs are used as a tension member in roof stresses. The angle sections are placed on the two sides of the gusset plates. Middle it's having a gusset plate, on two sides of it, it has an angle section. When both angles are placed on the same side of the gusset plate, it can be subjected to tension and bending. Okay, both angle sections are placed on the same side of the gusset plate. If it placed on the same side of the gusset plate, it will subjected to both the tension and also the bending. It can be also arranged in star shaped. Star shaped means one angle section is here and one angle section is here. Like this. They can arrange it in star shaped also and can be connected by a batten plates. It can be connected by the plates between the star section angles. They are connected by a batten plates. The star shape arrangements were offered by a symmetrical concentric connection. This will be connected by a symmetrical concentric connection. Okay, from here I am going to close the session. Okay, let's see the third hour. Okay, third hour is 11th hour, no? Anybody answer, man?
Yes, sir.
38. Roll number 38. Roll number 35. Roll number 12.
Yes, sir.
Sir, 38.
12, sir.
Okay.
35 present, sir.
Everybody listening my voice, no? Roll number 40.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Better to give your face, man. You are not showing your face.
Sir.
you will afraid, sir, if you see our everyone faces.
No problem, man.
We just got up now, sir. Like, we are not in proper.
Okay. Okay, fine. Let's see on third hour. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir.
Be online. I think so. He will come or not. I don't know.
Yes, sir. Sir will come, sir.
Ah, yes. Any doubt? Okay. Thank you.
Share the recorded one. Sir,
Ah, sorry.
share the recorded clip, please.
Sorry, ma, I forgot to put recording. If anybody, your friend said recorded means you can take from him.
Sir, now you
It's
recording,
recording,
sir?
sir.
Is it recording now?
Yes, sir. Even now it's
Yes.
recording, sir.
Ah, okay. Who is recording?